trying to film this Q&A before my son wakes up. If you don't know me, I'm Elena, I'm 24, I got pregnant 3 months into my current relationship, and I am right now on my journey to finding my spark again after becoming a young mom. I asked you guys on Instagram what you would love to know about our life right now, what you're interested in regarding the birth, regarding Bali lifestyle, about mom life. You actually asked so many questions. I wouldn't have thought that, but I'm so happy about it, and I'm really happy to answer them all. Well, I will try to answer them all. Let's see how long the video is gonna be. But I feel like it's really interesting questions. So let's get into it. So the first question is, did you and Pharrell ever feel uncomfortable with your age gap? If you don't know us, I am 24 and my boyfriend Pharrell is 19. He's gonna turn 20 in June. And quite honestly, yes, I did feel uncomfortable with it at first. So maybe I'm gonna make a whole video about how we met and our story of getting together. If you want to see that, comment below. You have to know, Pharrell and I met in Bali, but things kind of started between us when we were both in Thailand, in Koh Phangan. And the funny thing is that I said to him, you know what, you'd be a great match for my sister. So when things started between us, in my head it was more of a vacation, traveling kind of experience and nothing that's gonna last. Well, thinking about that now, you know, we have a child now. 1 year later, we have a little son. Wow. What's a bit controversial to that is, on the one hand, I thought it would only be a thing while traveling, but on the other hand, I made the decision that I don't want short-term situationships anymore. I was really clear that I wanted to have a committed relationship, and that's just what I was longing for, right? And I made that decision. I want to find that person that is committed to me and that I can, you know, do this life with. At one point I asked myself, because a lot of things matched, right? I was like, we had great conversations and he made me feel really, really good. And at one point I asked myself, well, if Pharrell would stand in front of me with everything he is and everything that I've experienced with him together and everything that we are, but he'd be 5 years older, would there still be a problem? Would there be an obstacle? And the answer was no. It was just in my head that I cannot be in a relationship with someone 5 years younger than me. But it's concepts, it's society's norms, it's society's voices in your head that tell you, well, this is not possible, he's too young, and women like grow up faster than men, and he's not as developed, blah 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 blah. So it was just all in my head, and after realizing this and after committing to him and committing to that relationship, I didn't feel uncomfortable anymore. Well, it maybe, okay, to be really transparent here, I also did feel uncomfortable at first when I told my dad about it and when I told my Turkish family about it. But that was a bit special because I didn't just tell them, hey guys, I have a boyfriend that's younger than me, but I needed to tell them, hi guys, I have a boyfriend that got me pregnant and he's 5 years younger than me, right? So that was a bit uncomfortable. But other than that, no. All right, second question. Aren't you scared that everything went too fast? No, I'm not. So there were these voices in my head again, society's voices, when I got unexpectedly pregnant. And those voices were saying things like, oh my gosh, you got pregnant unexpectedly. You're so young, your life is over. You have so much more things to do. You wanted to do this, you wanted to focus on blah, blah, blah. But it was all, like I said, it was all just voices in my head that weren't really my own inner voice. I remember this one situation. I was driving in the car, still in Germany, and suddenly, I think I was going to my gynecologist, actually. Yeah, and suddenly there was this warm feeling, this loving feeling inside of me, and this excitement that I am starting this journey of becoming a mom now, and like at 24, and I would have so much more time with my child. I would have so much time more with Pharrell because we are doing this so quickly, right? I mean, we fell into it. I guess it was God's plan, not ours. But I'm not scared that everything went too fast, because my feeling is telling me that it's exactly right. And this excitement to have so much time together as a family, together as a couple, is just huge. And yeah, I love that. Third question: how are you finding community in Bali? Do you plan to live there long term? So finding community in Bali is pretty easy. It's really easy, honestly, because everyone is really outgoing. You meet people at the gym, you talk to people when you're going out to eat. The easiest way actually for us, that's also how we met, is connecting at co-working spaces. We already knew people when we came back here, and finding new community, like I said, is also really easy if you are outgoing and just talk to people, and everyone is so nice, and you always find, like within seconds, you find something to connect with someone. So that is not an issue. Pharrell just came home. You can say hi in the video if you want to.
Hi YouTube, my name is Pharrell. A Q&A.
Yes. You also want to answer some questions?
Yeah, ask me one.
Well, you can answer this with me. Do we plan to live in Bali long term?
Well, we plan to live here until Christmas. We maybe visit Germany for like 1 or 2 months. But long term, I think we want to see a few other countries that are quite promising, such as Portugal, Mallorca, which are like closer to our parents, to Armand's grandparents.
Yeah. We might reorientate to Europe. It will also be a warm country, close to the sea. But Europe is just nicer to be closer to family and friends.
Yeah, closer to family. It's not so annoying with the visa. But yeah. I could envision Bali as a long-term thing. It's just that we want to be closer to our family in Germany. Because like the schools, I think they are pretty interesting. They have one school here, which is called the Green School.
They have a lot of good international
Which is a lot different than schools in Germany, for example, because they teach about economics, they teach about entrepreneurship, which I believe is very interesting. And yeah, also the school is fully built from bamboo.
I feel like the wish to be closer to family, like for me, it's just present since Ahmed was born. Because it makes, like if you're alone, meaning if it's just you, like the two of you, a relationship, I feel like it's not that important. It sounds harsh, but it's not that important to be so close to family like it is when you have a child.
Yeah, there isn't that much urge.
Yeah. Alright, that was a long answer, but it's okay. I don't know how many questions we already have, like 4th or 5th question, whatever. Cost of living here in Bali, working, house, food prices. First of all, I want to say it's not as expensive as one might think, but it's also not as cheap as you might think. So a lot of people underestimate it. But I get asked a lot, how can we afford this lifestyle? So to give you some facts, I want to be really transparent here. We are paying 200 million rupiah for this villa yearly, which is 12,000 euros yearly. The tricky part of that is that most of the time you need to pay upfront. We are always paying 4 months upfront. That makes 3 installments a year. So that's cost of living just for the rent. The rent includes cleaning twice a week. It includes a pool boy. It includes a gardener and water. We need to pay extra for electricity. I actually have no idea how much that costs because Pharrell always takes care of it. Fun fact, in Bali, it's so strange, to have electricity, you need to go to the supermarket and pay for it. It's like a prepaid thing, right? You go to the supermarket, you pay for it, and then you get a little card with a code on it, and then you go home and there's like a little monitor outside here at the entrance. Then you need to type in that code in order to refill your electricity. So that's quite funny. But I cannot give you numbers on that. I'm sorry, because I have no clue. Food prices, I have to say, eating out is a lot cheaper than it is in Europe. For example, you can easily get a meal for €3, €3.50 maybe, but you can also pay a lot more. You can also pay European prices, especially here in Canggu where we live. You have the whole price range. Well, I'm sure we're not spending as much money on food as we would in Germany. For example, when we buy groceries at the market, fruits, vegetables and stuff, it's way cheaper. But if you go to the supermarket to get dairy products, it's way more expensive than it is in Germany because it's all imported products. Talking about this, I'm just realizing it's so hard to give you a number because I actually don't really pay a lot of attention to how much money we actually spend in a month. If that is a topic that really interests you, comment down below, and then I'll try to, take some notes during 1 month to actually give you better information on that. Next question is, what is your main income right now? Pharrell and I both work remotely. We both have our own businesses. We cannot call ourselves entrepreneurs yet, but that is the goal, right? Right now we work as freelancers, more or less. I am doing web and graphic design and Pharrell is doing video editing. And we have both been doing that already when we met at the end of 2023. And that is also our main income. Do you have access to good healthcare in Bali for your baby? Yes, you definitely do. In Bali, there's a lot of clinics. There's birth clinics, but obviously you also have the hospitals. You have a really good international hospital. And if you wanted to, you could have all the healthcare that you also have in Western countries. The insurance that I have only covers costs for pregnancy and for birth if you have already had that insurance for 10 months before getting pregnant. And when I got that insurance, I was already pregnant, meaning they paid nothing, and we needed to pay everything ourselves. The next question, I need to translate this because it's in German. Did you give up residency in Germany? And how about your health insurance? So I just talked about the health insurance. We both have health insurance, like international health insurance. It just covers the basics like the health insurance in Germany would also do, except for that pregnancy and birth part. And officially we are still residents of Germany. We didn't give up our residency yet. That will most probably happen really soon though, because for me actually our house in Germany got sold, so I don't have residency in Germany anymore starting in May. And Pharrell will also give up residency because of tax advantages when opening up a LLC. And the last question, but I think I already answered this, is just curious, how do you afford the lifestyle? Again, I think what I have to say to this is keep in mind we are two people that both have their own online businesses that both bring money to the table. It makes a lot of things easier, right? If I was just on my own, I couldn't afford to live here, and I could also not afford the way I live right now. So it's two people bringing money to the table, first of all. And then, like I said, we have our own online businesses and we're pretty successful with that until now. Obviously there's always space to be even more successful and to earn even more money. And our main goal definitely is financial freedom. We are working towards that, and I don't want to say we're still far away from it because that's not a good mindset. But yeah, there's still certain steps we need to take until we can say, okay, we're financially free. The cost of living in Bali for the lifestyle we're living is really not high. So as I said, the main goal is to have financial freedom, and with that comes the goal that we want to have a certain standard of living, a certain lifestyle, and the ultimate goal is to be able to live that lifestyle anywhere in the world. But right now with the income we have, this kind of lifestyle we are living is possible in Bali but would not yet be possible somewhere else, just because the cost of living is higher, and like getting a massage costs 7 euros here. You would probably pay like 30 to 60 euros, maybe even more in Europe for that. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have more questions, just drop them below. I'm happy to make another Q&A on this. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Sending lots of love. Bye bye.